Good afternoon, Christina.
Hi.
Hitting you with an afternoon today instead of a good morning.
Oh, actually, I don't think you ever say good morning. I think you just say hi.
Oh, shit. Hi, Christina. Good morning.
Gross.
I know, I'm so sorry. I don't know if we've ever told that story.
I don't think so either.
Buenos noches. It's a big story. It's a whole thing. We could talk about it another time.
Yeah.
Because today's episode is a watering hole.
Ooh. Trickle, I guess. I don't know. I was going to say sparkle, sparkle, sparkles.
Close enough. I mean, close enough. So you know how I always pick a topic and you go, that's icky.
Yeah.
After like every single one.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think I might have did it again.
You did it again?
I think I might have done it again.
What did you do this time?
So we're in the food and beverage month.
We are. How could you possibly? How could you possibly?
You know, so I could have done anything. I could have talked about how we keep finding forbidden food. Like archaeologists keep finding forbidden food, you know? We've found tea and we've found honey and we've found bread and cheese and whatever. We could have talked about the forbidden picnic, but we're not.
What a name that they slapped on it. Or you, I'm not sure.
Tumblr slapped that on there kind of. But
Thanks, Tumblr.
we're gonna Garfield's also here.
Yeah, we have a live studio audience again, and
He just had his
fine.
medicine, but he's got bronchitis. So, like, leave the little man alone. He's doing his best, okay?
He certainly is. Oh, it's time to play now? Now you're interested in this?
I don't know if I'm supposed to be narrating this.
Color commentate, please.
Here we find Garfield in his natural habitat. On the desk. Sniffing everything he shouldn't be sniffing. And doing a light scream. Lulling us with his dulcet tones.
Sounds of your people? Oh, good.
Let's hope he doesn't sneeze right into your open beverage.
I have good news.
Is it empty?
It's so empty
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
so happy. That's truly the best news.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like out?
Yeah, you're interrupting valuable, expensive studio time. Isn't that what they say in all the movies? We don't have enough money for this. You have enough money for 2 takes. This studio is $100 an hour. Or whatever, because it's like the 70s.
Boop, boop, boop. Get out of here. Boop, boop. Staring deep into my soul right now.
Watch how his fur, like, scrunches up when you do that.
Boop, boop, boop. It's wild. It's like somebody went over and went peach.
Except he's doing it to himself.
Boop, boop.
The joys.
It's like his fur's winking at me. That's what it is. It's
the joys of getting to see cats when you don't see cats every day.
Yeah. Hi, could you...
You can pick them up and toss them out if you really need. I can come pick them up if you want.
Like, do you want me to? Oh.
Goodbye, bitch.
Boop, boop. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
I'm recording here.
And at a fluffle of fur, he gone.
He gone. Anyway, back to making Christina uncomfortable. Because I'm great at that. I really should have done the forbidden picnic now that I'm thinking about it. That would have been such a good topic. But
Nice.
instead we're talking about food and the relation it has to sex.
Oh. Like aphrodisiacs and all of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Just because
cool.
I was like, why have a family-friendly episode? I'm not good at that. And also the history of aphrodisiacs is fucked up, dude.
Oh no.
And we're also going to talk about the opposite of aphrodisiacs later in the episode.
Oh. Okay.
So, Basically, for as long as humans have been both eating and having sex, there have been foods that are thought to inspire sexual intent or lust. These foods fall under the category aphrodisiacs, which has been woven into human history. As far back as the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans, food was used to help stimulate sexual activity. So I have a lot of different sources here, like some really old sources too. But we'll start with the Egyptians, shall we? Do you know anything about the Egyptians and their sexual eating?
Can't say I do. I would not like to know more, but please tell me more.
Okay, so with the Egyptians, during spring festivals, a visage or statue of their sun god Osiris was washed with wine and oil in a sort of ritual to anoint him, right, and like bless him. Then participants licked the oil off of the statue. And by doing so, it was thought they would be saved from a year of impotence and debility. So basically, they prayed and slathered a statue of their god in wine and oil and then proceeded to lick that oil because they thought it would give them, like healthy sex, essentially.
Huh. Interesting.
And, like, to combat... like think of it as history's Viagra. But worse.
So
to combat erectile dysfunction, let's lick some oil off the sun god.
Okay.
The men of Egypt may have also ingested a vapor from a beetle's anal glands.
Oh, no.
And it turns out that might have actually been highly poisonous. But it was thought by doing so, they would bear healthy children. You ever just...
Nope, never. Not once.
Suck things out of a beetle? No? Okay.
No, ma'am.
The Greeks are much better, if I'm being completely honest with you.
I'm not surprised.
The Greeks consumed potions that were created by those seen as sorcerers or magicians.
Okay.
And this can be seen in, like, the Iliad and the Odyssey and all that good stuff. So, quote, Homer had the magician Circe give Ulysses' companions a philter, the nepenthe, of which there have been many interpretations. Some think that it was Haddish or Mandragora, pardon my pronunciation, both of which were long considered aphrodisiacs. Others have seen it as nothing but the symbol of feminine seduction. That was a quote from Bernard. It was a whole article I found. But Haddish comes from the cannabis plant.
Oh.
So they were ingesting the parts of the cannabis plant. It's unclear if that would actually make them high, but it thought that it was an aphrodisiac. And then the mandragora is a flower in the nightshade family. Nightshade's also poisonous.
It certainly is.
So, like, the Greeks and the Egyptians, you know, were very much...
trying
anything, ingesting poison, essentially. Like, you know how that, like, the joke is, who's the first person to, like, eat a raspberry? Like,
yeah,
who's the sucker that they made do that, you know, to see if it was poisonous?
Mm-hmm.
These people were just doing it willy-nilly.
Right.
And just, like, what they thought was helping them sexually was actually killing them, essentially. The Greeks also used many aphrodisiacs that came from Asia, such as the satyrion root, which is the root of any flower in the orchid family. Orchids are poisonous to cats. I don't know if that really matters in this context, but I just thought, hey, they're still kind of poisonous. People can't eat orchids. Like, they're still ingesting shit that they shouldn't be ingesting, essentially.
Correct.
They also used herbs that were thought to be tied back to Aphrodite, such as basil, myrtle, rose, and rosemary. So we're getting into things we can actually sort of consume here.
Great.
But that was a really big thing with the Greeks. If they could tie things back to Aphrodite, you know,
then...
that was good for their sexual prowess, essentially.
Right.
Arugula was also believed to act as an aphrodisiac.
Spicy lettuce.
Yeah, have you ever looked at arugula and went, yep, that'll do it? Like, that'll help.
100% not.
I've literally never even looked at arugula and went, yeah, that will definitely help my salad, let alone my sex life.
That's
You can quote
that's a
me on
choice.
that. You can fucking quote me on that. Like, I've never once been like, oh yeah, that arugula, that's gonna help me in so many ways.
It's gonna fix all my problems.
Correct. The Greeks also believed that eating or wearing parts of specific animals helped them in the same regard. This gets kind of fucked up.
Oh god.
But it includes and is not limited to the brain of cranes, the tail of deer, eggs, and then they also believed that wearing the testicles of game animals would help them in their sexual aspects of life.
Where are you gonna wear testicles? Where are you gonna wear brain? Like, that's, I don't...
Bracelets, actually.
That doesn't make it any better.
Sometimes in a necklace. Usually in a bracelet.
A necklace I could see to a degree. Actually, just not at all. Wow, I am uncomfy. Good job. You did it. Again.
Like, it's not my goal, just so we're clear. And, like, this is going to be a short, sweet, and to the point episode. This is, like, I didn't deep dive into this. I'm starting to think, you know, ancient tea party of forbidden food would have been a better concept.
No,
But,
you're fine.
you know, this is still fun.
I don't believe you that you don't seek out these things that are just like in the back of your mind, even subconsciously.
It might be subconscious. What can I do to freak Christina out today?
Honestly, I would not put it past you.
You know, at least it was a little bit better with the Romans. Yeah. The Romans believed that berries were to help stimulate the female anatomy. So they just ate berries, like, you know, everyday berries, raspberries, blueberries.
Okay.
You know, all the good shit that we eat now. There was also a root of unknown origin that was thought to have a 70% success rate in leading to a sexual encounter, but the root was never specified in any sort of documentation, so we don't know specifically what it is. But they thought by ingesting it, either through eating it or tea, that it would lead to a 70% chance of success, or a 70% chance of success in leading to a sexual encounter. Aristotle.
What a guy.
What a guy. He recommended peppermint oil as a sexual stimulant.
Sure.
I wouldn't want that anywhere on my skin.
No.
Really.
Oh, no. Is he saying specifically? Oh, no. Nope.
You know, peppermint oil all up on your bits? It's not a thing I would ever recommend.
Nope. Like, I can understand where he thought that might work in theory.
Yeah.
Execution, absolutely not. I'm not doing that.
Do you want to know something wild?
I would love to know something wild.
They still use peppermint oil to this day in stimulating lubricants. So
What
he was
knowledge?
onto something.
I'm so happy I have that knowledge now, I guess.
But I can't imagine just fucking raw peppermint oil.
No.
That, like, have you ever gotten that in your eyes? Let
I think
alone,
so.
like, I'm good. Something worse. He also believed that the terrestrial crocodile was an aphrodisiac due to the insects it fed on, so he wanted people to eat crocodile.
It's not unheard of.
No, it's not, but I just...
It's kind of weird.
That's not an animal I would ever link to being sex-related. Like...
Fair.
Like that... I don't know what the right way to, like, phrase this would be. But,
I'm so scared of whatever's going to come out of your mouth.
I'm also scared of what's going to come out of my mouth. I feel like if you were to pick an animal, it just wouldn't be a crocodile. I feel like you'd pick something that would be easier to obtain.
Oh, okay. It's down to accessibility.
Yeah.
That's what your hang-up is.
That's not my hang-up, but that's the thing I'm gonna say to the masses.
Okay.
Because I want to be employed later. And I also don't want people to go, oh, she's into bestiality, because I'm definitely not. But I would not pick the crocodile as the sexy animal. Thanks. That's what I was scared I was going to say.
Okay.
If we cut it out, we cut it out. If we leave it in, I guess don't quote me on that. I would like to never talk about that again. Stephen's going to talk to me the minute he hears this. He's going to pause the episode and call me. Okay. Galilean records from 131 to 201 BC. Scratch that. Flip it. 201 BC to 131 BC.
Okay, pause.
Uh-huh.
When you said flip it, my stupid brain said CB.
Christ born! I know that's not what it actually means, but that's how I conceptualize it before Christ and whatever. But
Yeah.
Christ born. Anyway, state that things such as saffron, Spanish chamomile, euphorbia, white pepper, henbane, and spikenard, and opium were mixed with honey to provide the desired effect when consumed. Opium gets you high as balls.
Sure does.
So, like, I get it, I guess. Like, I get if anything is gonna make you lose your inhibitions and feel the rain on your skin or whatever, it might be opium.
I suppose. I mean, when you think about the 70s, it was the time of drugs and sex.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, when people think, you know, people that are into getting high a lot, they generally think, well, they're probably doing it a lot too.
You know,
I think that's just a stereotype. I don't know if it's an actual fact, but
that's fair. Opium is also a flower.
Yeah. Poppies.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, it's easily accessible. So, like, I get it.
Yeah.
I just... White pepper? Like, it's just a list of really random shit in my brain. Like, it doesn't... Like, nothing on there besides the opium makes sense to me.
Okay.
Like, saffron. Is that just because it's expensive?
It's expensive now. At the time, it was probably more cultural than anything.
Okay.
Like, it gave a yellow hue to things. It tasted a little like something, but it wasn't, like, overpowering or anything. So, for the most part, people used it for the color, not the taste.
Okay.
Like, now it's expensive because it's labor-intensive to actually get it.
Right. It's
But at
just
the
one of
time-
those things. It's just like, I wouldn't ever, you know, I don't know, you want yellow turmeric, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, instances of aphrodisiacs have also been found in the Bible. In the book of Luke, Lot's wife gave him wine to help him restore his vigor. That's a quote. And then in the book of Genesis, Rachel gave her husband Mandrake to help him in the conception of a child. More fun. There's also references in Shakespeare as well.
That's more fun?
Oh, yeah, in my brain.
Oh, okay. Is it because it's Shakespeare,
Yeah.
or is it because he presented it in a more interesting way?
You know.
Because it's Shakespeare.
Because it's Shakespeare.
Okay.
Quote, let the sky rain potatoes, let the thunder to the
No.
tune of...
It's not because it's Shakespeare. It's because it's more fun. Let the sky rain potatoes. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Carry on. Sorry.
Let it thunder to the tune of green sleeves. Hail kissing comfits and snow and grows. Let there come a tempest of provocation. If I could speak today, I could quote Shakespeare better for you. Let there come the tempest of provocation. I will shelter me here. It's from Merry Wives of Windsor. Basically, comfits and snow and grows were candy that were thought to act as aphrodisiacs.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of more on the line in my brain from what like we know as aphrodisiacs now. Like the candy makes more sense to me than the spices.
I mean, I don't even know what's supposed to be an aphrodisiac now.
Oh, we'll get into it.
Okay.
Modern aphrodisiacs you may or may not have heard of: nuts and berries, chocolate, avocados, pomegranates, just to name a few.
Avocados.
Food, yeah.
Interesting.
And then as for spices, we've moved on to ginseng, ginkgo, and tribulus, which are mostly Asian herbs. So it's a lot to do with Asia in what, like, the herb situation, even back in time, long before us.
Yeah.
Basically, foods that are smooth, rich, creamy, exotic, or spicy can act as a sexual stimulant in people's brains. Like, I know the big one nowadays is people are like, oh yeah, oysters are like...
Right.
That just freaks me out in general. But, like, that being, like, the big, like, go-to, like, oysters and red wine in people's brains.
Yeah. I wonder,
because
like,
it's exotic.
Is there any scientific backing to any of this, or is it what people just assume? Because I don't know.
From what I could find, the scientific backing on it's
Loose.
Loose, yeah.
Okay, because, like, I wonder if people associate those specific things with, like, sexual drive is because sex is indulgent. These things are indulgent.
Oh,
and they
that
just
would make a
kind
lot of sense.
It's correlation more than causation.
That would make a lot of sense. Because there are things that are supposed to, like, be stimulant-ish in that realm.
Yeah.
With, like, vitamins and stuff. So, like, if your body's not getting the right vitamins, one of the first things your body's going to cut out is sex drive because it's not essential to function.
Right.
So then being able to get your vitamins and, like, your hormones and everything in place will change that. But I don't think it's necessarily oysters and red wine that are going to do that for you.
Right.
So, like, there's scientific research into that aspect of it, but not necessarily into the...
Chocolate's gonna make your pussy go boing.
What a good quote. Now let's flip a script and make it worse.
Oh, good.
It's worse.
Oh, no.
Did you know that there are foods that have been made with the specific goal to not entertain sexual arousal?
Like, it's specifically made for... What are we talking, like grits or something?
Graham crackers.
That's right. Fuck, I forgot about graham crackers.
And cornflakes.
Oh, I didn't know about cornflakes.
Cornflakes is worse. We'll start with graham crackers.
Okay, cool. Wait, isn't bran also the same way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. But I did research into bran, just graham crackers and cornflakes, because they're both equally shitty.
And that's fair.
No, I'm going to go with cornflakes is worse. Graham crackers were originally created with a double purpose, as a diet food and to help curb sexual cravings and urges. The inventor of graham crackers was a Presbyterian minister who believed that people had a problem with their morals and sexual urges. So he created graham crackers as a way to avoid this problem. He believed that food with sugar, spices, and processed flour had a negative impact on people, thus leading to sexual thoughts. So the original recipe was made without these things. They were also originally vegetarian because the inventor was vegetarian. The graham crackers we eat today have sugar and spices and most likely processed flour, and they all around taste better than the original. But I can imagine if you're eating something that gross, you're not going to be thinking about sex.
No.
Like, I just... Ugh.
Overall. Sure. But
yeah, that wouldn't be what I would assume.
Wow.
Okay.
Good job, Minister Graham.
Correct. Cornflakes.
Cornflakes is worse.
The breakfast cereal for boomers was originally...
These baby boomers need fuel. Let's give them corn.
Well, I've never met anybody younger than baby boomers that eats cornflakes, like, because they want to.
I like cornflakes.
You like cornflakes?
Yeah, always have. But corn is like... Overall, corn is sweeter than...
Rice.
Yeah. And wheat and stuff. So, like, overall, it makes sense why... As a kid, I would gravitate towards the corn varieties, like Corn Flakes or Corn Pops or anything like that.
I've never liked any of that variety.
Really?
Really?
Well, I ate enough for both of us growing up, so...
How were your sexual urges, Christina?
As a child?
That's a good point. I didn't know if that was still within your realm of food.
Not generally, no.
Cornflakes, the breakfast cereal for boomers, was
Yeah.
originally created to help curb the urge to masturbate.
Oh, no.
It was thought that the bland taste with the equally bland mix of ingredients would help promote a healthy lifestyle, which included the lack of masturbation. Ready to feel real icky?
Sure, I showered today, but what's another?
The inventor of cornflakes was a man named Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. The Kellogg's fucking guy. Who was a Seventh-day Adventist and unfortunately a doctor. No, legit, like, this is an unfortunate fact. He worked out of a sanatorium that he nicknamed the Medical Spa, where he used cruel and unusual treatments like forced circumcision on young boys without anesthetic while they were awake in order to promote a trauma response around the experience to prevent masturbation. He also had a similar treatment for young boys and girls alike, where pure carbolic acid was applied to the genitalia. Basically, the sick fuck was traumatizing children and making cornflakes to prevent masturbation. All at the same time.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So here's random information.
Yeah.
The main highway in Wichita, Kansas,
Yes.
it's called Kellogg.
Gross.
Yep.
Now,
Driving on that, I'm going to feel differently.
yeah, I feel bad for anybody that listens to this pod who lives in Wichita. Is that what you said?
Wichita, Kansas. Gotta go back there eventually.
I went to school with a kid whose last name was Kellogg. And now everybody would always ask him, oh, are you related to the cereal guy? Are you related to the cereal guy, right?
Yeah.
And he would always go, oh, no. And now I'm thinking, thank God he wasn't related to the cereal guy.
Yeah. Turns out he was a serial psychopath.
Truly, it was fucked up. So that's basically all I've got. It's just short, sweet, and to the point.
You're going to leave it at that?
Unfortunately, I'm going to leave it there.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. Do you want to do a little bit of research into the forbidden fucking tea right now?
Sure. We got time.
Hey, I think that's it.
She zoomed in like a lot just for the picture to be smaller and everything else to get bigger.
Yeah. Okay. So, ABC News. World's oldest cheese found in an Egyptian tomb, but may be filled with deadly disease. And then somebody said, can't drink the sarcophagus juice, can't eat the tomb cheese. What even is the point of technology? Chanting, ancient cheese with deadly disease, ancient cheese with deadly disease, ancient cheese with deadly disease. 200-year-old lump of butter found in Irish bog. Can we still eat the fucking butter bog? Fellas, we've got ourselves 2 out of 3 of the ingredients for a legendary grilled cheese. It's a grilled cheese, it's not a picnic. That's my bad. World's oldest bread found in prehistoric site in Jordan. Charred remains of a flatbread baked about 14,500 years ago in a stone fireplace at a site in Jordan has given researchers a delectable surprise. People began making bread, a vital staple food, millennia before they developed agriculture. Grilled cheese. Hell yeah, baby! We done it! God herself is gonna grill us a cheese. Also, ancient nonstick frying pan found in Italy, and 52 million year old fossil of the world's oldest tomato. Tonight we dine like kings. So there's that.
See,
Could have I gone into a whole episode about that? Yeah, I sure could have. Did I want a short, sweet, and to the point episode about food, sex, and unfortunately poison and circumcision? I guess.
I'm imagining, like, with that Tumblr thing that you just read, I'm imagining how you would structure that grilled cheese. Because it's a flatbread. So it's basically a quesadilla at that point.
World's oldest quesadilla. World's oldest quesadilla. Oh, this is what... John Harvey Kellogg looks worse than you thought he did. Do you want to take a little look-see?
Yikes. It's like... I don't know, if Colonel Sanders...
was a twink? I don't know. No?
Yeah, sure. And not Asian.
Colonel Sanders Asian. What are you saying?
Isn't he Asian?
Colonel Sanders?
Or is he just, like, really popular in Asian cultures?
I don't know how to spell Colonel.
Colonel. There's no R.
I know,
It's pretty dumb.
Does this look like an Asian motherfucker to you?
Listen. I couldn't remember if he was actually
An
Asian.
American businessman and founder of fast food chicken restaurant.
Okay, I couldn't remember if he was actually Asian or if he was just very, very popular in Asian countries.
I think he's very, very popular here in Korea and other Asian countries.
Right, I think specifically Japan. He was very popular there. Oh, and then there was that whole thing with there was a statue of him, and they threw it in a river. And then there was a curse. It's a whole thing. I promise. This one I know for a fact.
Oh my God, you're right. This has been a balls to the wall or episode or loose brain and smooth. I don't know. Curse. Should we go over this really quick?
Sure.
You've probably vaguely heard of the mysterious link between Colonel Harlan Sanders, founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and the Haitian Tigers Baseball Club. But let me drop 2 bombs on you. The information you just heard was filled with inaccuracies, and the curse is a hoax. The story behind the curse is not without its charm, but here's my attempt to concisely but accurately recount what happened. This is from Haitian Tigers English News, Ride the Tiger. I don't know if I care about that. I want to hear about the lore, my guy.
Ride the tiger.
That's what it said.
Nope.
Curse of the Colonel, Wikipedia. In 1985, Japanese urban legend, The Curse of the Colonel. According to a legend, a sports curse was placed on the Japanese Haitian Tigers baseball team by the ghost of the KFC founder and mascot, Colonel Sanders. The curse was said to be placed on the team because the Colonel's anger of treatment of one of the storefront statues, which was thrown into the Dontambori River by Haitian fans before their team's 1985 Central League pennant. Pennant? Do you know baseball?
No.
As is common with sports curses, the curse of the Colonel was used to explain the team's lack of success in subsequent years. Some fans believe that the team would never win another Japan series until the statue was recovered. They appeared in the Japan series 3 more times and lost in 2003, 2005, and 2014 before winning in 2023. Comparisons were often made between the Haitian Tigers and the Boston Red Sox, who were said to be under the curse of Bambino, who until they won the World Series in 2004. The Curse of the Colonel has also been used as a boogeyman threat to those who would divulge the KFC recipe.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's a whole thing.
This could have been we could have had so many better topics than the shit that I just picked. Did I just waste multiple hours of my life researching that and also 30 minutes of us recording that bullshit when I could have been talking about the Curse of the Colonel?
Yeah.
What? I'm so sorry to anybody who had to listen to that shit. Maybe we come back to the Curse of the Colonel. I need you to know I read straight from that Wikipedia page. Wikipedia, don't sue us. We are poor. We are but humble military wives. Hey, they recovered the statue in 2009.
And did the Tigers start winning after that?
They sure did.
Yeah, see?
Oh, no, they lost in 2014.
Oh, well.
But, yeah.
Can't win them all. Sometimes that's just down
streak.
to talent. But, yeah.
Um...
There's all sorts of, like, wild and crazy things in food and beverage. So I feel like food and beverage should come back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll be circling back around.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of wild shit out there like this.
I had no idea. The world was so closed off to me before. But now I'm learning so much. Just for a little housekeeping, next month is Film and Television Month.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Correct, yes.
So
are you going to pick something that's going to make me go, ew, again?
Maybe. I haven't decided what I'm thinking.
Great.
But either way, anywho, thank you for tuning in. I'm so sorry if I made you feel icky. If I did, you can text us on Spotify, leave a comment on YouTube or on Spotify. You can leave a comment on Spotify now.
What?
You know where to find us on all of the places and all of the things at the Wondermongers. And we'll catch you next week. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.